Well, apparently I'm doing this live stream vertically, so here we are, because I am very new to this. This is only my second time doing a live, and I'm excited, but quite frankly, a little nervous. So Mom is here. She is going to be monitoring our chat, and I just realized I also don't have my microphone on. I think you guys can hear me. If you can't hear me, let me know. Well, there's nobody else here right now. So, let's see. Where are we? Mom's going to be monitoring chat. If you have any questions, please go there and put them in there. And because of the layout of my kitchen, it's a little awkward and I only have one camera, so I am going to have to move my camera around a little bit, hopefully just 2 or 3 times, and I will let you know before I do it so that you can close your eyes and not get seasick while I move the camera around. Okay, so I may have bitten off a little more than I can chew by deciding to make and can 2 jams on my second ever live stream, but here we are. We're just gonna go for it and see what happens. We should at least end up with some tasty jams. So our unique jams that we are doing today. The first one comes from our Ball Complete Book of Home Preservation, and it is our carrot cake jam. And then our second one comes from the all new Ball Book of Canning and Preserving, and it is our zucchini bread jam. So we are going to start with our carrot cake jam because it actually needs to simmer on the stove for about 20 minutes. And in my mind, I think that we should be able to start and finish and get the zucchini bread jam all jarred up while that is simmering. It comes together quite a bit quicker, so we shall see. All right, I am going to tilt my camera down so you guys can see what I am doing on the counter here, and we will get started. Let's see if we can do this. I practiced this with not a vertical live stream. So, okay, you can see my pot. So, we are gonna start with our carrots. Obviously, I did pre-shred and chop up my pears, but we need 1.5 cups of our carrots. And I did pick these from the garden, so they are garden fresh. There we go. And then we also need 1.5 cups of our pears. Now I have made the zucchini bread jam before, and it is delicious. It's very surprisingly delicious, but I haven't made this carrot cake jam. Mom has, and she says it's delicious. So I am looking forward to that. All right, I'm gonna go rinse my hands really quick. And let's get our pineapple open here. And I believe that the reason that you have to simmer this for 20 minutes is because you want the carrots to be more cooked, whereas the zucchini is already a softer vegetable, and so it just doesn't need quite as much time. All right, we need 1 cup and 3/4 of our pineapple, and I'm using crushed pineapple. I don't think it actually says, it just says canned pineapple. So you could probably use chunks if you wanted to. That's about right. Oops. And then I have pre-measured out some of my ingredients. This is 3 tablespoons of lemon juice and our spices. So our spices are, for this one, cinnamon, nutmeg, and cloves. And I do have a pinch of salt in here as well. That is not in the recipe, but I just feel like salt adds to any recipe. It just enhances the flavor. So I add it even to my sweet recipes like this. All right, let's see. That is everything. We are not going to add the pectin or the sugar yet. we are going to get this stirred up here and on the stove. I'm gonna bring this to the stove and then I will come and get you guys. Just a second. All right, I also have to unplug here. All right, close your eyes, we're moving. All right, I think you guys can see everything, looks like it. So let's get the stove on for this. And we just want this to come up to a simmer and simmer for 20 minutes, like I said. And we'll just keep an eye on it and stir it here as we are working on our zucchini bread jam. I need to go get the cookbook, which I left over there. All right, zucchini bread jam. Like I said, this one comes together pretty quick. I did pre-shred my zucchini as well, and we have 4 cups going in. My squash actually didn't do very well this year on the whole, like none of my squash did, but I did get enough zucchini to do this today. All right, we need a cup of apple juice. And I'm not using anything special. And we need a tablespoon of our lemon juice. This is a half tablespoon measure. Oh, and I'm pouring it all over the place. Goodness gracious. Now this is one of the kind of odder ingredients along with the zucchini, and that is a 1/4 cup of golden raisins. And unless you just absolutely hate raisins, I definitely don't skip this because it really adds a ton to the flavor and texture of this recipe. All right, and then the spices for this one are cinnamon and nutmeg, and again, a pinch of salt. And the funny thing about this, when I first made this recipe, I almost didn't include the nutmeg because I don't like nutmeg very much, but you can really taste it in this recipe. And quite frankly, I think it's what makes this recipe just taste amazing. So don't skip it. All right, I believe we put our pectin in now. Let's see. Yes. And we're doing 6 tablespoons of our pectin. And get this going as well. This one actually needs to come up to a full rolling boil, and that means that you can't, when you stir it, it doesn't stop boiling. So this will just take a minute here. And the beeping that you just might have heard is my canner. I do have that all set up and ready to go. Jars are clean and in there, getting all nice and toasty warm. So they are actually, the beeping says that it's ready, basically. All right, let's let these do their thing. Like I said, we will just keep an eye on them and stir them as we need to. I'm gonna double check my recipe, make sure I didn't forget anything.
So you have several greetings.
Oh, wonderful.
SS is saying hello. Sina Tutu said hi. The Warrior says it was great seeing you last weekend at the book cake party. EM says hello.
Well, hello you guys and welcome. Thank you so much for joining. There's always that little bit of nerves when you do a live stream for the first time and you don't have a huge channel, but nobody's gonna come. So I'm thrilled to have you here. Like I said, if you have any questions, Mom is manning the chat, so feel free to ask any questions, and she will relay those to me. I don't know about you guys, but we have definitely come into fall here. Last Tuesday night, we had a frost warning. It didn't actually freeze. You might have, if you watched my September garden tour that I just posted, you already know this, but it got down to 38, I think. And, but we are definitely headed that way quickly. I think we are forecast for a 33-degree night in like 10 days. So the garden is coming to an end very rapidly, and I have a ton to do in the garden still to get ready for winter, a lot to harvest, all of my herbs, my tomatillos. And then I have, let's see, what else do I have going on that I need to get done? I need to clean out the chicken coop. All of the beds have to get cleaned out. The hoop house has to get cleaned out. Although that one will wait until probably mid-November. I'll put a heater in there and row covers. So I'll still be able to get stuff out of there for a while, even after it freezes.
Shirley Fellows asks, what did you make?
What did I make just now? I am making zucchini bread jam and carrot cake jam. So we have both of these going. The carrot cake jam has to simmer for about 20 minutes. So we are getting that going, and which it has started. So let's go ahead and set the timer for that. And this, we just need to come to a rolling boil. So I'm actually gonna turn that up a bit. It already smells amazing in here. All of those fall spices.
Shirley says, yum, yum. You have 12 watching now.
Wonderful. Thank you all for joining. So what are you guys doing getting ready for your fall gardens or winter gardens if you have them? I know lots of places still are not anywhere close to their first frost. So you probably still have things growing. And the other question is, are you starting to think about your 2026 gardens yet? If you have a garden. That is one of my other tasks that I need to do. My potting shed is a complete disaster and needs to be organized, which means I also need to go through all of my seeds, figure out what I have from this year, what I need, and then I get to go order seeds, which I'm very excited about. We are getting close here. And that's actually the other thing I need to harvest are a lot of seeds that I want to save from this year. I have this really cool petunia called Cosmic Cherry, and it's beautiful. And it doesn't produce very many seeds, and the seeds to purchase them are very expensive, so I'm thrilled that I have gotten some. All right, I'm not sure if you guys can tell, but this is boiling now. And I'm not, well, not quite there.
Quinn just came on and she says, happy birthday.
Thank you, Quinn. It is my birthday today. It's a big birthday, my 50th. I had friends throw me a party on Saturday, which was a lot of fun. All right, I think we are definitely there now. So now we are going to add all of our sugar, which is actually only 3 cups for this recipe. We're gonna get that all stirred in. And then we want this to also come back up to a rolling boil, and we will let it boil for 1 minute once it does so. And then we can get it into jars. This is, like I said, super quick recipe.
Did you say how many pints that makes? Half pints?
I did not say how many. Both recipes should make 6 half pints. Unfortunately, my canner only fits 10, but that's okay. Do make 6 of each, then we will have 2 to taste test before we close out. Have any of you guys tried one of these jams? Let me know what you thought of it if you did.
I have.
Mom has.
I love them. They're delicious.
The amazing thing about the this one, the zucchini bread jam, is you'd think that the zucchini would get mushy, but it actually doesn't. It kind of ends up being the texture of coconut shreds, and so it kind of has a little bit of cheesiness to it, and it's just so good. I was very, very skeptical of this when I first tried it. Oh, I also have to winterize my fountain, which I have never done before, and I'm a little worried about it because you have to get all of the water out. It's a stone, cast stone, and so it can crack if you leave any moisture in it and it freezes. So I have to be pretty careful with that. Okay, this is back up to a rolling boil. So I'm going to watch this timer here for 1 minute. One very hot. Jams of any kind that you use. This doesn't. There are ingredients in it. It does bubble up a lot when it starts boiling like this, and you don't want it to bubble over because it will long gas. My birthday dinner was excellent. All right, our setup. I literally have tape on the counters of each place my tripod is supposed to go when I move it, which has been very helpful. All right, let's get our jars here. And it is really important that your jars are nice and hot because you are putting boiling hot jam in them, and then you're going to put them back in hot water. So if you shock them too much, they will break and your jam will be all over your canner, and it would be a very sad day. I'm going to leave the ones for the carrot cake jam in here for exactly that reason, so they don't cool down too much. All right. I think you guys can see. I maybe should have used a different color towel here, but all right. Now, part of me is thinking maybe I should test this. What you can do to make sure that it's going to gel is just put it in the freezer for a couple of minutes to make sure it gels, but we're just going to go with it and hope that it does.
Did you use pectin? I don't remember.
Yes, I did. 6 tablespoons, so it should be just fine. And we're going to go with 1/4 inch headspace on these guys. So yes, at my birthday dinner last night, we went to a new place, a steakhouse, and they actually serve Wagyu steaks, and they're one of only 43 restaurants in the United States that is allowed to sell Japanese Wagyu, and most of them are Michelin star restaurants. This is definitely not a Michelin star restaurant, but I've eaten at some pretty amazing steakhouses in my life, and this was right up there with the best steak I've ever had. It was so amazing.
Especially considering it was a railroad employee's bunkhouse originally.
Yeah, so the restaurant is called Derailed, and it's because it was a railroad bunkhouse that they have refurbished. It's super cute. It's actually called a gastropub. So Quinn, when you are here next, we will definitely be going there.
Deborah Jarvis says, what state?
I am in Idaho, southeast Idaho, in the high desert, which is why winter is upon us. All right, I'm actually not going to get 6 out of this.
And Quinn says, yay. Deborah says, thank you.
All right, we are just going to move this to the sink. I'm gonna rinse these 2 things because I'm gonna need them. And we should be almost ready for our carrot cake. Got out of the way. We want to wipe our rims. This is just a damp paper towel. And that's because you don't want any residue on the rim to deter a seal. And it's also a chance to check your jars for cracks or nicks in the rim. In fact, I had a jar not seal not long ago, and it was a brand new package of jars. And it was because I had missed a chip in the rim. And I had kind of thought, oh, they're brand new jars, they should be fine. But that isn't necessarily the case. All right, all brand new lids. I'm just putting them on finger tight. Ooh, that's hot. All right, where's my thingy? And I'm not gonna start the canner yet. These are just gonna sit in here staying warm until we have the carrot cake jam all jarred up as well. Okay, we actually have 7 minutes left on our carrot cake jam. So, let's see, let's turn you guys this way. There we go. I'm so used to doing canning projects that take all day, mostly because I do it to myself and take on a project that's way too huge, or I'm trying to can like 4 projects at once. So when I do these quick little ones like this, it's kind of refreshing and shocking that it goes so quickly. I have little cheat sheet notes up here as well. Let's see. Oh, actually this coming weekend, we are going to be going up to Spokane, Washington for a Frisian curing. And for those of you that don't know, I have a Frisian filly. She's just over 2 years old. And they do this, it's called a curing, which is a Dutch word, I think. And it basically is a thing where they get scored and it determines their value. It also determines the value of their offspring, and I intend to breed Zara, that's her name. So she will have to go through this curing next year when she's 3. And I thought it would be a good idea for me to go and see what it's all about. I've never been to one. The whole thing is brand new to me. So go check it out, see what it's like without the stress of having Zara there. And yeah, so the breeder that I got her from, they're bringing several horses as well. So I'll get to kind of have an inside look at it. So I'm kind of excited about that. I was very tempted to add raisins to the carrot cake jam too. Mom is shaking her head. No, 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 no. I don't personally think that it would affect the safety of the recipe because raisins are a fruit. Oh, she doesn't like raisins in her carrot cake.
Yeah, I do.
Oh. Oh, yeah, I don't know why she doesn't want carrots or raisins in her carrot cake jam. I think it would be delicious. So I might do that next time, but since I had never made the recipe, I wanted to do it right this first time. So what we're gonna do next, once this is done, is we're gonna take it off the heat and whisk in the pectin, and then we will add the sugar, bring it up to a boil like we just did with the zucchini bread jam, and for 1 minute, and then we can get that jarred up as well. So what are you guys up to?
Justine said, I didn't know your horse was Frisian. My in-laws came from Friesland, and those horses are beautiful.
They are, yes.
Kevin Gonzalez says he's hungry.
Yeah, so she is a Frisian, and she's my dream horse. For those of you that don't know what Frisians look like, they're all black. They have the really long flowing manes and tails and the feathers on their feet, and
they're huge.
And they're very large. And yeah, I just love them. And Zara is a little puppy dog. She follows me around everywhere. So I have thoroughly enjoyed having her. Almost there. I'm a little surprised this hasn't produced very much liquid. Did yours when you made it? Huh.
No, it's nice and thick always. So
Yeah.
kind of depends on the pears, if they're juicy.
Mine were pretty juicy because they were pretty ripe. But the carrots are dry. They don't have a lot of liquid in them, so I suppose that's probably why.
Right.
What is your favorite jam? Anybody?
My new favorite is carrot cake.
I think my favorite, actually, it's not a jam. I love orange marmalade. That's probably my absolute top jam spread, whatever you want to call it.
Kevin says his is raspberry.
Ah, I do love raspberry jam. I actually think I might get enough raspberries to make a single batch of raspberry jam this year.
Yeah.
My raspberries have finally started getting ripe. So I think I have 2.5 quart bags in the freezer right now of raspberries.
Gwen says that currently hers is apricot jam.
Ah, that's probably because you took some home last time you were here, huh?
Yeah, I bet it is. She says, but it changes as I try new Korean recipes. Justine says she's still a sucker for blueberry. We had a lot of bushes in upstate New York when we went camping as girls.
I don't think I've ever had blueberry jam.
Oh, come on, when you were a little girl?
Well, those weren't blueberries.
Well, we called them blueberries.
So I grew up in Alaska, and you don't get blueberries like you get blueberries down in the lower 48. They're actually huckleberries, aren't they?
Yeah.
And so they're tiny and they're sour. They're very sour. We loved them, and in fact, my brother and I, the first time that we tasted real blueberries, we thought they were super bland and boring and didn't like them at all. So Yes, we had huckleberry jam, but not blueberry jam. All right, I'm gonna call that close enough. Where did I put my pectin? And a whisk. Just gonna whisk the pectin in first. To come back up to a boil, and we'll add the sugar. Bring it back to a boil. Mom, did you like mash up the pears at all, or did you just leave them chunky?
I mashed them and they still were, because of their stone cells, they don't mash really well.
Yeah.
So yeah, the jam has pieces of pear. Almost makes it look like there's pieces of cake in there.
Oh, I wonder if that's why they do it that way.
Maybe so.
Yeah. All right, well, this is not gonna actually come to a rolling boil because there's not enough liquid for it to roll. And I don't want it to scorch on the bottom. So we're gonna add the sugar. This one has 6 cups of sugar.
Yeah, I was amazed at that too.
There's significantly more sugar in here than there is other stuff. So this will probably take a little bit to get back up to a boil with that much sugar added.
Also, it makes it more liquidy.
Yeah. Do you guys want to see what it looks like? I can move the camera again if you do. Let me know. Oh, I should also rinse off my funnel and scoop. Although since they have a lot of the same flavor profiles, it probably wouldn't matter if I rinse them or not. And it does look like my zucchini bread jam is going to set up just fine. The little bit that's left in the pot is all gelled up.
That's the good thing about using pectin. It's a surefire
Yes.
jam maker.
I often make my jams without pectin because you can use less sugar, and but it means you have to cook them significantly longer, and it's much more hit or miss if they're going to actually gel or not.
Gwen says, "Hi, Madeline." Apparently, she went across the camera.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised they haven't been milling around here more. Madeline is our Frenchie. And we have a second one here as well, but I think he's busy chewing a bone.
Yep.
Or his ball.
Chewing something.
I do have quite a few other canning projects yet to do this preservation season from the garden. The hoop house is absolutely chock-a-block full with tomatoes. So I'm gonna have a lot of tomato processing to do. Yeah, so I'm gonna do, I need to do enchilada sauce, and I wanna do a bunch of sweet and sour sauce, maybe some barbecue sauce. Oh, and I also wanna do some like crushed tomatoes and diced tomatoes, because we are low on both of those. And then hopefully my tomatillos are going to fill out their little husks before we freeze, so I can make some salsa verde. Let me know if you guys would be interested in seeing any of those, and definitely we can bring you along.
You might want to try some green tomato relish too. Remember that lady talked about that?
Oh, she was saying it was salsa verde too, using it for salsa verde. So I'm likely going to have a lot of green tomatoes left. I think a lot of them will ripen, but I'm still gonna have a lot of green ones. And a lady stopped by our farm stand this last weekend, and she mentioned that she's gonna have a lot of green tomatoes and that she makes salsa verde with those instead of tomatillos. It would definitely have a different flavor. It wouldn't kind of have the sharp flavor that a true salsa verde has, but still sounds like it would be delicious.
Here's an interesting message, chat. MR says, dang baby, you got an only cooks?
Yeah, that's not what he's asking. Mom does not know what that reference is. Okay, our jam is at a rolling boil, so let's do 1 minute. Oh my gosh, my hand is burning. I need a longer spoon. It's funny, I thought that we'd be able to smell the pineapple with this, but you really can't. Just the slices. Although this has the cloves in it, and cloves are pretty strong, so kind of makes sense, I guess. If I can kind of show you guys what it's looking like right now. And let me swing you back around here if I can. Go. I am going to use my potato masher here a little bit and see if I can squish out some of these pears. No, they're too small for this.
Cheryl Maine said hi.
Hello, welcome. Well, we're just gonna have big pieces of pears. That's always a bit of a challenge getting these out of here when they are all packed in. And I think it's possible that I put too much water in this, so I'm actually going to dump some of it. How did I just want that so badly? 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Luckily, I have extra jars ready to go. Because I think I'm definitely going to need it for this one. All right, I'm just going to let those heat up for a second and we'll fill up these other guys here. And this is looking like it should gel nicely as well. Once again, we're doing just a 1/4 inch of headspace. This is going to make way more than 6. Did it make more than 6 for you?
Yeah. I think I put mine in mostly pint jars. I think I have 4 pints.
I've learned the hard way. Make sure you have extra jars ready to go. So you're not frantically washing them right before, while your jam or jelly is gelling on you. Because it does gel up pretty quickly. I guess it'll just make maybe 7. All right, I'll pull the rest of it in there in just a second. Wipe our rims off again. Made a mess. It's very sticky. I guess that's what 6 cups of sugar does. Boudreaux's, our other Frenchie, Boudreaux, is taking advantage of Mom sitting at the table with a free hand, getting lots of pets. So, like I said, I can only fit 10 in here, so I'm only going to be able to put 5 in. And I probably have not a full half pint left in there. But we can give it a taste. Holy cow, this is hot. And I can't put it on. Ouch. Oh, where did my... So these actually have different processing times. The carrot cake jam has to process for 15 minutes. And the zucchini bread jam only for 10. So since we have both of them in here, we'll just process them both for the longer time. And it won't hurt the zucchini bread jam at all. And actually, we are going to add 10 minutes to that because we are at 5,000 feet. And you have to add time when you are canning when you're at elevation. Because water does not boil at 212 degrees. It boils at like 204, I think.
Yeah.
So it needs to process longer, so it has longer to get up to temperature in the jars. So this is already all set up to go, and I'm just gonna push my button and it will start heating up. And the great thing about these Presto canners is that it senses when it starts to boil, and it just starts the timer for me, so I don't have to do really anything with it. We are not going to wait the probably 45 minutes that it would take for it to come up to boiling, do the 25 minutes, rest for 5 minutes before we take the jars out, but I thought we should give it a taste test. Do you want to come taste test with me? All right, this one's going to be really, well, let's do the little bit of this that's left. Thank you. There we go. So this is the, oh, I just dropped it on the floor. This is the zucchini bread jam.
It's so fresh tasting.
Yeah. You wouldn't think it because it's got those kind of fall spices in it, but
Very fruity.
so good.
For vegetables, very fruity.
Yeah. For a vegetable-based jam.
Thank you. Oh, this is very colorful. Look
Yeah,
at the carrots.
I don't know if you can kind of see. Looks like really hot.
Not really. Very good.
Oh my gosh, this tastes just like carrot cake.
It certainly does.
It really does. That's amazing. So good. All right, well, you guys, that only took 47 minutes. I can't believe it.
Yeah.
Like I said, this still has to process, and that'll take probably another 45, 50 minutes, but we will not sit through that. So,
Quinn says she wants some. Come on over.
come on. Yeah, come visit.
Robin
Welcome
Scott.
anytime.
Robin Scott added yum.
Hey, Robin. Lovely to see you here. All right. Well, you guys, that is it. And let me know if this was fun and if we should do it again. And I will see you all next time. Bye.